Okay, so here is your 11 till 1 slot. This is idea development, developing concepts, and also about the importance of being concise. Lots of people, when they write annotations of things, the annotations tend to be, some people's are very, very short and not very specific, and some of them are quite long-winded and never really get to the point. This is going to be what we're having a little look at as well today. Okay, so folks, you know where we are. We are week 7, typography posted, as we said before. Be here, be on time, stay on track and be professional. Remember, be here, be on time are the main ones for your online session. Stay on task, ask for help if needed, sign the register. If you've not already signed the register, you should have done this by now. If I'm talking and need 100% your attention, keep all conversation relevant and keep to the replies. Make the most of your time in sessions and back up all your work each and every evening. So, we're going to be looking at fonts today to develop understanding of fonts, uses and choices of fonts, and to further understanding of the voice and tone of typography and font psychology. So, everybody must create a list of multiple fonts. You should create a list of multiple fonts and define the voice of each font. And you could create a list of multiple fonts, define the voice of each font, noting specific elements of each font. I'm looking for your font work at the end of today. What do we mean by being concise? Right, I've got a little task. Send to me initially what you think being concise means. I'll give you 3 minutes to do this. And then come back, okay? Right, okay, so these are the assessment criteria for this specific module. This is idea development. As we have a look on the front of every single one of these, I put up the developing concept or generating ideas. This is part of developing concepts. And developing concepts is A1.2. Look at the pass, merit and distinction criteria associated with these. Okay, so I'd like you to watch the following video clip twice. Maybe 4 minutes isn't enough for this, but please watch it twice. I've given you the link in my opening message. Have a little look. Just watch this scene twice and then come back. Okay. So, now you have watched this scene twice, what I'd like you to do for me, please, describe this scene as well as you can in exactly 25 words. Please take between 4 and 7 minutes to do this, okay? Describe the scene in exactly 25 words. You don't have to send this all to me after every single one. What I want you to do, please put all these in a document. So, and then just copy and paste them all to me when I say so. Okay, so first of all, describe the scene in exactly 25 words. Go. Now, I'd like you to rewrite your description in 12 words. Take out some of the detail. Keep as much detail in as possible, but what can be kicked out? This is quite sort of a test of how few words are you going to need. What have you written in that might be just waffle? You know, please keep this as readable as possible. So rewrite your description in 12 words. Go. Now, rewrite your description in 7 words. Again, what else can you take out? What was less important than other things? Can you do this in 7 words? Right, your answers that you should see should gradually become more and more concise. This is what we should be doing in our annotations and descriptions. Getting to the meat and veg of it. Not looking at, like, you know, this happened and this happened and this happened and that happened. We're not writing a story. We're looking for the very most concise. So please send your 25 words, your 12 words, your 7 words, all in one single message. What is the absolute fewest words that you could send that a description of that? But it's not just like one word saying chaos, you know, because it's not. That's got no description whatsoever. You know, how can you describe that actually describe that scene in as few words as possible. So send them all over to me now, please. Okay, thank you. I'll give you an extra 4 or 5 minutes if you want to take now, just to get that finished off and get them all sent to me. Okay, thank you. Right, okay, so today we're going to be building a collection of fonts and learn how to categorize fonts. It's when we get thousands and thousands of fonts on our computer systems, it's hard to wade through to know what we're looking for with each one. So what I thought we should do is we should create a list of headings and examples from the following list. What I mean by this is that here's a list of all the different types of fonts I could possibly think of. You don't have to use all of these. Let me just make this quite explicit. You don't have to use all of these. These are just a range of different types of fonts. Monospaced fonts, modern serifs, modern sans serifs, geometric. These are all, suggestions. What I mean, I would possibly do this in Microsoft PowerPoint. This is because if you have a little look, this is the sort of thing I would expect to see. You can use one page for each type of fonts. So we're setting these out: serif fonts, sans serif fonts, slab serif fonts, bubble fonts, whichever you want. I would choose between about, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these, something like that. Yeah, more you can do the better, to be fair. Yeah, if you want to go for the gold star, if you're a gold star student, if that's what you're looking at, go for as many as you can, is what I say. Or maybe find some headings of your own, other types of fonts, but I think these pretty much cover most fonts, and create this sort of document. Now, in these slides, yeah, if it's PowerPoint, we're talking slides. If it's in these slides, I'd like you to find 2 or 3 different fonts that fit under the heading that you've created. This example here, Times New Roman. Where would this go? Times New Roman? Well, Times New Roman, yeah, it's looking at a serif font. So this is pretty much how you would arrange each of your slides. So a collection of serif fonts, a collection of sans, and a collection of all the ones that you've put titles for. Okay. Right, so I would like you to do this. This is take 40 minutes to do this now. Collect as many as you can. You may want to look on fonts like googlefonts.com or other font sites like FontSpace, Acid Fonts, all that things, or Dafont, anywhere you like to find different fonts. Find me something that's a little bit exciting. Don't just find me all the most basic and bog standard of fonts. Okay, thank you. So you have 40 minutes to do that, starting now. Okay, so what would you say are the mood and tone of each font group? Serifs, I'd personally say, are trustworthy, informative. If we have a little look, this is what we'd associate with quite a vintage sort of style. We'll associate it with trustworthiness, with loyalty. This is for the whole reason why years ago banks used to use this as their font type of choice. Also, like newspapers, it comes from the Daily Times. They want to be thought of as trustworthy. They want to be thought of as informative. So what would you say the mood type and font of each font group is? I'd like you to give it a list of adjectives that could describe that group, both positive and negative, and say possible uses for that font. These can be up to you and what you think about the font's tone. Example to follow. Once you have finished this, please feel free to add to the group and save the document as categorizing fonts. So where you have put this in, say like the serifs, you might want to shift the group of fonts over to the left hand side, and then on the right hand side of each page write in it the adjectives that can describe that group. Okay, serif fonts can be, so this is an example of what your page might look like. Serif fonts can be trustworthy, loyal and informative, but can also be outdated, old-fashioned and lacking in creativity. They're used in newspapers, body text, and by traditional businesses such as banks. This is what I expect to see for each of your pages. You have now until the end of the session to complete these. Please come back to me at the end of the session, and your document's called Categorizing Fonts. Okay, thank you very much. So what have we done today? Let me know. Give me 2 things that you didn't know before today. Maybe something about fonts, maybe a different category of font that you've never heard of before, something like that. Just let me know 2 things that you didn't know before today. Okay, thank you very much, folks, and I'll see you after lunch.